Good morning. Today I'm going to be chatting about following a dream. Many of us might have found ourselves in a situation where we have a business idea or maybe a hobby that we'd like to take more seriously, something that we'll be sacrificing time and effort and maybe some resources towards. And so it's worth us asking, is this dream from God or not? Now, as a starting point, we are really blessed in that we have a God who both encourages us to ask for wisdom and then promises to give it to us very generously. In Proverbs 1, wisdom is personified as a bit of a crazy lady who stands in the street and really invites onlookers to partake of her. We're encouraged to ask for wisdom. In James 1 verse 5, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously. And so as a starting point to figure out whether a dream is from God or not, we should ask God for wisdom to discern this. The second place we can find wisdom on a dream is in God's Word. The more we read about God and the nature of who He is, the more we can discern whether or not our dream kind of aligns with God and His nature and His character, and whether this thing is from ourselves or maybe if it's from God. The third place where we can seek wisdom on a dream is from other people. Proverbs 11 verse 14 tells us that victory is found when we go to a lot of people for advice and counsel. But for lack of advice, a nation fails. I'm paraphrasing that. But really, you can't get too many people to input on your dream and your idea. And obviously, be selective about who you ask. Ask some people who are close and near and dear to you and know your heart. And ask some people who won't be afraid to give you some really honest or challenging feedback on your dream. Then lastly, I want to chat about this. It's what happens when a dream doesn't quite work out. And here I want to share a little personal story. I'm standing on a farm at the moment, a beautiful farm, a farm that my husband and I prayed for, our dream. We prayed for a farming opportunity a couple of years ago, and something came up and we pursued it. We ran at it. We threw everything we had at it. But a couple years into this experience, we felt tired. We certainly weren't enjoying each other, and we weren't enjoying God. And we thought maybe this dream has come to an end. But we thought that God was in it, so should we be throwing it away? We sought some godly counsel on this, and eventually we did let the dream go. It wasn't by any means easy. We'd sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money towards this dream. But we knew that the important things in life, the ultimate dream of serving Christ, was coming off second best because of this dream that we were pursuing. And we were blessed enough to have godly people within our lives that said, hey, maybe it's time to let it go. And I want to encourage you this morning. John Piper puts our purpose here on earth really eloquently. He says that the chief end of man is to glorify God by enjoying Him forever. If your dream starts to mar your enjoyment of God and mar your enjoyment of the important relationships in your life, I'd encourage you to seek godly counsel and wisdom on letting the dream go. We absolutely still believe that God was in this dream. We just think that maybe He's done doing whatever it was He was doing in this journey when we pursued the dream. And we definitely didn't want to miss out on the things God had for us because we were trying to flog a dead horse and trying to make it work when actually God was done with this and moving us on. So quickly to wrap up, following a dream, how do we know whether our dreams are from God or not? Well, there are three places where we can seek wisdom. First of all, we can pray to God directly for wisdom and ask Him for wisdom. Secondly, we can seek the advice of others. And thirdly, we can read the Word, get to know who God is, and see whether our dream aligns with His character. And then lastly, if your dream starts to mar your purpose of being here on earth, then seriously consider finding some godly counsel and wisdom on whether you should keep pursuing that dream. Because after all, isn't the ultimate dream to see people come to love and serve God and get that well done, good and faithful servant at the end of the day? I hope this encourages you and gives you some perspective on your dreams.